Hello again, another little flexible input-output presentation, this time using the TunerStudio instead of the console. There's another video I've just published with FSIO console. So we'll fire up TunerStudio. This is all based on December 17th latest version, so you'll need at least December 17th to reproduce that. Create a new project using the FSIO latest description, Celsius, that's my port. This chip was just erased, just programmed with the latest firmware. That's default engine, default settings everywhere. So for outputs, let's see what we've got. We don't have the output selected by default, which we need in order for flexible logic to be up and running, so we'll pick PE3 for example. Frequency is set to 0 on all those outputs, meaning it's going to be on and off. You can either have digital mode on and off with a 0 frequency, or you can have power wave modulation with a frequency which would be hard-coded here. And we already have the setting here with the defaults. That's our threshold RPM, and we can change it to 2500 for example. So nothing else to see here, and then we have the formulas. The formula for RPM above first setting is now hard-coded in the default values. That's this stuff. The formula here is not exactly human readable. Here we have what the controller has inside, and that's the reverse Polish notation. Blah 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 computer science, just trust me on that. That's the way the formula says RPM above first setting. So that's already there, we don't need to change anything. We've assigned the output pin. What else are we going to be doing? I think that's oh yeah, let's look at that debug mode here. We will set it to FSIO expression mode so that we see the current values, meaning that somewhere here we're gonna see the current value on the expression, right, like that. Whatever, some values are currently there, and now we need to close that because we need to reset once we have the output selected. Reset, done. Firing up TunerStudio again. Opening that project. That's unfortunately normal. So let's see what we've got. We have the output, it seems to be up and running. Now we need the RPMs to trigger the logic, so we'll go self-stimulation and we'll say the value 5500 for example. Something is going on, and we still have the value 0 here. Interesting. Why is that? Because RPMs didn't go to 5000 for whatever reason. Let's try that again. Looks like this control doesn't work here. Okay, so we need to maybe change the setting then to set it below 1200, and maybe we'll get stuff working. Yeah, so that's a 1 now. It's kind of hard to see here, but it looks like if the RPMs are above the threshold, we do have the value 1 as the output. And I guess if we disable the stimulation, is it gonna work? Nope, it didn't. Yep, the stimulation was disabled and that thing went to 0. So we've just discovered a defect that stimulation RPM control doesn't work for TunerStudio. That's minor bad news, but great news is that flexible input output seems to be working, and we now have that debug mode FSIO expression, which would allow you to see the current value through those debug F1 through F7 gauges, and that allows you to play on the bench without